All right, so you take a look at the tail of the tape, and we can tell you a few things about it. The height exactly the same. The weight a couple of pounds heavier is Green. Green is 3 years younger, and he has 1 inch less of a reach advantage than does Darren Ova. Ova has the actual advantage of 75 to 74. Both guys are coming off wins. Julio Cesar Green is a good, tough, durable fighter. You've seen him fight here in King Division before. He's a former WBA world champion in this middleweight 160-pound division. Darren Ova, we don't know a lot about him. We know that he had a tremendous amateur record. He had over 200 amateur fights. He represented his country of Australia in the Olympic Games. He's a tough, durable boxer, too. He's got a good right uppercut. He told me he would be a little bit nervous about fighting in Madison Square Garden, but anybody coming to Australia fighting in the United States for the first time and landing Crowd King and the Mecca of boxing, it's going to be exciting for him.
Darren Ova in the last couple of days that he's been here, it doesn't seem that he's in all of the events, and that's a plus in his favor. And how well he handles it, we'll see.
Well, right now, Julio Cesar Green is a guy that usually starts slow. He's an excellent boxer. He just taps with the left hand, and then he gets the left hand in the face of Ova. Ova, if you look at him, I start with the way he is. He's got a real washboard of his stomach. He's got the perfect build of a fighter, and we'll find out just how good he is. Now, he's the type of guy that has had to train constantly for a couple of years to be ready for a shot at the world title. You may or may not know he was supposed to fight William Jaffe Jr. A week or so ago. They had a couple of each other's the referee, right in front of Dick Pedrosi, waves it off. He actually stepped on Julio Cesar Green's foot, and he pulled his foot out down. He went the referee to the target back so we can see it. So, good call by the referee. But as I said, he's been training constantly. He was supposed to fight for the world title against William Jaffe, and as you know, Jaffe got injured in that automobile wreck. He seems to be okay now and should be back in action in a few months.
You know, this guy Ova seems to be he's been representing Australia in 2 separate Olympics, and I think one of the decisions he lost in the Olympics to the current WBA junior middleweight champion Lawrence Iguani. So he's been in some tough fights, but I don't know about him as a pro.
Well, you see, the thing is Green is much used to fighting those gym wars over police from here in New York City, and he's a real seasoned professional, native of the Dominican Republic. He fought all these tough kids in New York City, and a seasoned fighter. And when you see a guy like Green and against Ova, it's a big step up in class for Ova, even though Ova's a world-class fighter. He's settling down now. He described to me, he said, Curly says, I played a lot of football, Australian rules football in Australia. He said, I was nervous before I went in every one of those too, but once you get the first hit, he's been in already. So it's a different story. I got a little bit of an abrasion on the bridge of his nose, but he had that yesterday at the weigh-in, I noticed, so maybe it's just opened up a little bit.
You know, one thing about Julio Cesar Green that's interesting, he's never lost a fight in New York. So that's something that Darren Ova is going to have to change tonight if he intends to become the interim champion. And, of course, when the winner goes on to fight William Jaffe.
Well, that's the carrot at the end of the stick for both of these guys. The winner of this gets a shot. Actually, they will hold the WBA.
What if they're going to show us that was a top right hand there?
I'm sure that Marty Crawford and back in the truck will have that for us. This is what happened earlier, Carl. You see the feet right on top of each other. The referee made the proper decision there.
But I think the next time, the next showing here we got this tremendous overhand right at the end of the round. Bang, right on the back of the ear and right around the temple area. And fortunately for Darren Ova right there, Julio Cesar Green is a real sportsman and didn't really attack him like he could have. And this thing could have ended before the end of this battle.
Well, we'll see if he can recover from that, because his legs were gone when he was reeling into the ropes there at the end of round number 1. And now he's tasted the power of Julio Cesar Green. And Green will try to make short work. Green's the guy that can box or he can brawl. And right now, he wants to nail this guy with another right hand.
Well, this has been a good thing for Julio Cesar Green, this entire situation. This could make him on the brink of a third Jaffe fight. He beat Jaffe here in the garden. He lost in Tampa to him. And he wasn't expecting to get a fight with William Jaffe this soon. Darren Ova stepping in and fighting as interim champion may give opportunity for Julio Cesar Green for the fight number 3.
Well, Green has got a great corner with him. Ramon Paula Mo Sims, Tony Teneo. They do a great job. He's even got Eddie Mafuta. He's ready to reel again. This guy's legs are not there. Darren Oba just doesn't look as strong in any way as Julio Cesar Green. And he told me he was concerned about the fact that he hasn't had the big sparring and really knows he hasn't faced world-class opponents certainly in the league of Julio Cesar Green.
Well, you know, number one, he has to do something proper, and I think that now he's in the top-notch category of opponents that he's in there with Julio Cesar Green. So tonight he'll learn a lot. Whether he wins, loses, or has a draw.
Well, the thing that he got his shot here because he had a real good win. We see now that Julio Cesar loading up shots there. He had a good win in the decisive win over Andre Petrie to vault him into this world status. But he hasn't fought in a year with management problems, so that might be part of Owen's problem. He's still nonetheless ranked number one, and it's Green who's risen to the occasion, giving him all he wants here in the second round of this scheduled 12-round affair, which really doesn't look like he's going to go anywhere near 12 rounds. He's a tough killer. Bang, as Green has his right elbow hooked down. The right hand is free of Owen. He's wailing him to the head. And they both seem satisfied to hang on to each other and use one hand.
I tell you what, he's going to have to really settle down if he's going to continue to stick around with Julio Cesar Green. He doesn't seem to have his balance, his legs up under him properly. He's not getting much leverage on his punches at this point.
He's not getting good point, Carl. He's not getting any leverage on his punches. The other thing is he's not using any side-to-side movement, so not only is he not getting any leverage, but he's getting no angle. And when he does get free, he just stands right in front of Julio Cesar Green. And Green is a guy who'll brawl with you, he'll street brawl with you, or he'll box, or if you want to slug it out with him, he'll do that. He can do it all.
This guy is good, I tell you what. Like you said opening the top of the show here, this guy getting off the plane from Queensland and fighting in the Mecca of boxing here at Madison Square Garden in New York City. This has to be something quite exciting.
Well, Ray Wheatley, who writes for the boxing news down there in Australia, you know, this is a good fighter, but every time that our fighters from Australia go to the United States, it's always a step up in class because they used to fight the same guys down here, and it's just a big opportunity for them to go. And sometimes, like a Jeff Fennick, they rise to the occasion.
Oh, that's right. And Jeff Fennick did that pretty good when he fought Azuma Nelson back in '91 at the Mirage. But this guy, I mean, I'm surprised he made it through that round. It looked like at the end of the last round he was in big trouble. But he came through, and he's not sitting down. I don't understand that. I think a guy needs to use his legs, rest his legs. It's not a real good thing for him to do at this point.
Over the corner now, Julio Cesar Green will listen in.
Okay, now we got a guy that's sitting and working on the ropes here. Green is going attacking with both hands, uppercuts, work the body pretty good. He's using his jab right here. This guy, you can't take this kind of punishment all night long, not intend to win. If you see how his legs are spread apart, he's really off balance. Julio Green is the class fighter.
Vamos a meterle la mano a este tipo.
All right, we're coming up to round number 3. Bobby Sturman with Carl King. We're in Madison Square Garden in New York City. This is the WBA Intra-Middleweight Championship. Julio Cesar Green, the man in the white trunks, taking on the number 1 ranked guy in the WBA, who hails from Queensland in Australia. His name is Darren Oba. Oba's some kind of tough character. He cuffed on the side of the head. He calls that a slip as well. He was slipping the left hook, and the referee elected to call that against the court. Nick Capozzi has called the first one. I thought very active back in the first round when he stepped to the shoulder. That one looked like a left hook was on the right ear of Oba when he was down.
So good thing for him and for the scorecards. The referee seeing the difference. We'll have to take a look at it later, but it looked like a knockdown.
It's academic anyway, Carl, because just flat out Green has done best to this guy to this point. Although, again, I don't want to take anything away from the courage of Darren Oba because he is some kind of tough. He's hanging in there. He's in tremendous physical condition. He's the stomach on him. He comes with the uppercut that time. His right uppercut is one of his best punches, he told me. And we finally got to see him use it there. He has no fear of this guy. He stands right in front of him.
He does. And in the last broadcast we did, when we had someone with the braided hairstyle came up with a pretty big upset. So you never know.
Sumaya Anani with Christy Martin.
But I'm still shocked about that one.
Well, it was a terrific fight.
It was.
This one, Darren, again, elects to stand right in front of him. He allows Green, he gets it back on the rope, he stays in the rope for the sliding up and down. And that's when it spelled disaster before it's over. Now he's split open on the bridge of the nose. You can see that he had a bit of a problem with the bridge of his nose before because he had an abrasion there, and that's all rubbed off now.
Doesn't seem like Darren Over's getting like he's getting a lot of punching power behind his right hand. It's like he's just slapping with his arms. And that's not going to be enough for a guy of this kind of caliber that he's in there with.
Well, the reason for that, Carl, is you mentioned one time, he has a tendency to square up when he comes in. He has his shoulders squared with his feet. You can't have power. See, just the way he is right now. When your feet are squared like that, you can't have any power. Mike Tyson's a guy that makes that mistake sometimes. When he squares up in front of an opponent and just goes throwing with his right hand, he lacks power. I mean, for a guy that has such a great knockout, you know, you don't like to criticize him, but Mike sometimes squares up like that, and that's what he does. It's a good manager. Little half steps to the right and banging him with the right hand.
Exactly right. As good as he is, some of the best of them make small mistakes, and that's one of them.
And Oba is a guy that's had well over 200 amateur fights, represented his country, represented as well. He pointed out he lost to Laurent, who won the world champion in France. A big bang in the back of the head by Julio Cesar. This is a tough fight inside, real tough for Darren Oba. And this is the kind of war that the kid from the Dominican in the streets of New York likes to use. He's in his kitchen right now. He loves this.
Well, you know, kind of smart on Oba's behalf to stay on the inside instead of on outside that power like he's doing right now. That's certainly not good for him.
That ends round 3, and you're exactly right. If he sits on those ropes, his face is going to take a pounding. Let him get that stool in there for him and let him get off his legs.
Oye, cuando estés en el piso, echa para atrás un paso y viene para arriba enseguida, porque no lo espera. ¿Entiendes? Este hombre está listo para ir para la casa.
Está cortado.
Está cortado de a eso
Una chiquita.
It's Tony Teneo facing you.
¿Cómo quita, señor?
Eddie Mafuso is back to you.
Ahorita, Julio, mira, con calma.
Let's take a look at this. This is the slip that I thought, oh yeah, that was a slip.
You know, the referee was right. He pulled him down and kind of right by that logo. So that's an example where we thought we saw it better than he did, and he was right.
Exactly. And here we got near the end of the round, that barrage of punches thrown by Green. And I tell you, this guy Oba is showing some heart and some guts, but he's lacking in the skill department right now.
Hey,
He needs to settle down.
He's right in the front there. Julio Cesar still throwing shots, and the referee jumps in front of him to protect the fighter. That was good. Here we go. Round 4. Bob Sheridan with Charles King. And now we've got us a whole Pierce 6. We get Darren Oba, who wants to pick up the pace. He's not doing anything fancy. He just wants to slug it out now with Julio Cesar Green. And to me, it's not the right fight plan.
Well, you know, staying on the outside of Green isn't real good either. That's how he got knocked down in the first round. And I think he's trying to smother that power to get in and not get hit and try to rough him up and use his head and maybe can cut him and hopefully get it stopped on cuts later on. But Green should go on and make short work out of this guy and make it an impressive win if he intends to make the world clamor for another jockey rematch.
This fight is not over yet, although Green is having things pretty much this way all the way through 3 and now into 4. But Darren Oba is one of those tough kids as Don King, your dad, called him, Crocodile Dundee. He's the toughest Crocodile Dundee.
Yes, he is. You see the kid is using his shoulder, he's using his head. And maybe a slight abrasion under Green's eye, too. I'm not really sure. I can't see it from here.
He turned around and looked at you, Charles.
You must have heard me.
This is round 4. It's scheduled for 12. You see the time remaining at about the halfway mark in the 4th round. Green likes to load up the right hand right now. He kind of carries off the left hand, the jab.
There's a slight cut in the corner of Green's left eye. And that should be a wake-up call for him, son.
There's the left hand, followed by the right hand. Green up the nose, digs to the body, goes behind the elbow, back upstairs, hangs him on the nose, straight over the eye, comes to the uppercut. All the time, Darren Oba's throwing punches, though. He's some kind of tough kid, I'll tell you. Face is a mess. There's actually just a little cut on the bridge of the nose, and the blood's all over his face. He's not anywhere near as beat up as he looks.
And I tell you, that same cut on his bridge of his nose has been there since he arrived here in New York. So I believe this happened some time ago in training, or maybe it's always there.
Well, it had to happen in training, and of course, all he had to do was get hit on top of his tears that scab weight, and then he quit bleeding in the first round. it's not a significant factor in this fight. The thing is that all the skills in the arsenal of Julio Cesar Green, a real slick fighter that can crawl and bang against the kid who's just a real tough kid from Queensland in Australia, and Darren Over. But don't, look past the fact that this kid has had well over 200 amateur fights. He's getting ranked #1 by the WBA for nothing.
That's right, and he's showing that he's a tough kid. And I think as the fight progresses, the more this fight gets into a brawl, the better it is going to be for Darren Over. I don't think Julio Green is used to being pushed around in mud like this. It's just,
he's not, and I was questioning the fight plan of Darren Over, and Carl, you kind of disagree with me, and I think you were right now that I want to watch a couple more rounds. And, this is the way to fight this guy. He's trying to mug him.
Yeah, he's going to have to, because staying outside certainly is not working. But he's getting better. As the rounds progress, he's getting better and better each round. He's not winning any of them, but I think he's going to get closer to what he wants.
They're working on that left eye. There's a little bit of a cut there by, well, now we're looking at Darren Over, but there's another cut in the left eye of Julio Cesar Green, too. I don't understand why Over's not sitting down in between rounds. His legs have looked heavy throughout, and his knees a little jellified.
Look at this. This is Darren Over now. See that long, looping right hand. Just a fraction of an inch short. If he'd have took a little step forward, that might have been a solid shot. And that could have made him open that comes up in the corner of the eye a little more, too. But I think he's closing the gap a little bit. And if he does that, and that eye becomes a problem for Green, this fight could turn out to be very interesting.
Well, I've got Green winning the first 4 rounds of the fight, but certainly the last round was the best round for Darren Over. Let's see if he continues to do exactly what he's doing. Smother the punches, try to fight inside of Julio Cesar, and as Carl said, try to mug him.
I would go to work on that eye if I was Darren Over. I think at this point, knocking Green out is certainly out of the question of the way the guy throws punches. And I think if he got a better shot at trying to open in that cut up over the eye and hoping that the referee will step in and stop if he causes that.
You see the uppercuts inside. Darren Over's actually taking advantage when they're inside. A lot of slipping around on the logos, new canvas here, and there's been several fights in Madison Square Garden tonight, so a little bit of water, and when you have slick shoes, it's a problem sliding in the painted surface, the new paint anyway.
Well, Over looks like he's had his shoes for a while. It looks like it's completely broken. Maybe needs a little thread on the bottom of it, but he looks quite comfortable in it.
This is the 5th round. It's scheduled for 12. At stake is part of the WBA middleweight championship in the world. In fact, the winner of this fight tonight is going to be called the interim champion, which doesn't mean a lot except it's a little incentive for the fighters, and it does mean he gets a shot at the title. If he's the interim champion, he's going to fight the reigning WBA champion, Willie Scotty Jr.
Yeah. And he gets the belt, too, so that's something that will be a keep things alive.
It's certainly for the fighter from Australia to take that down to the land down under.
I would love to go down there, especially this time of year. It's like 85, 90 degrees. There's gorgeous. This is actually the time of year to be there.
Round number 5, you see the time remaining. Coming up to the 1 minute remaining mark.
There you turn on. Julio Cesar Green hasn't been as bouncy and as aggressive in the last round.
Well, if the judges are going to give any round to Over, it's going to be this round because he's thrown more punches. He's been beating Green on the inside. Green just looks to be so much more strong than his Over, but Over is fighting the fight he wants. He has the arms over. He wants to fight a one-handed fight. Watch him every time. From this side, he comes off with the glove. He comes to the uppercut. He's doing everything. This kid's been around a little bit.
Yeah, he's trying to take Green to the later rounds, I think. But Green is starting to look a little tired. He's been off for a while, mind you. He's had some problems with his eyes, and he's back in action now. But this could be a stamina problem here.
Well, he hasn't fought since last April when he knocked out Mahengi Zulu in that fight we did crowd down in Bayamon in Puerto Rico. We saw that for Julio Cesar, but that's a long time. It's almost a whole year off.
Don't hit him in the back.
Kid, this age, 30, if he wants to get another title shot, which he of course does, he needs to stay busy tonight.
Look at this. This guy hasn't sat down all fight long, and it looks like he's not going to sit down. So Darren Over's kind of fight is not intimidated by Julio Cesar Green or
Nice scorecard, Carl. I'm going to give over that round, too.
Waste the time with me. Right here, baby. No te quedes dormido con tanto el hombre. Mueve la cabeza.
We're listening to the sound of one corner and seeing the other one.
Y sacar la mano. No, yo no eché en la herida. No tome mucha agua, no tome mucha agua. Estás dormido con el hombre en la frente. Ya hay tu combinación. El mate, quédate encima de ti. Mueve la cabeza para los lados. Que te cae parado como el huevo.
Tenemos que sacar la mano, Green.
Vamos a sacar los dos. Ok.
Vamos a sacar. Vamos a sacarle la mano, Green.
All right, here we go, round number 6. This is scheduled for 12. Turned out to be a tougher fight than it looked like in the first couple of rounds, Carl. I thought that Julio Cesar Green was going to make short work of Darren Hall, but with some kind of Crocodile Dundee guy, isn't he?
He's certainly hanging in there and looking at Cesar Green. Julio Cesar Green is starting to use some of his tactics in the ring there. He's using everything he can to show that he's pushed the guy away, lacing him, kind of what they call. And he's getting nailed a little bit. So Darren Hall may have been just waiting to get to the later rounds and show us what he got.
Well, Oba wants to fight right here. He wants to stay inside, hang on, and bang him with a free hand. He loves whacking him over that elbow with the right hand. He come with the uppercut. If he gets inside, he bangs him with the body here. He's beating him inside. There's no doubt about it. And I gave, as I said, Oba that last round based on the infighting that's going on here. This is exactly where Oba wants to fight this fight.
Exactly.
He just got clipped with a pretty good right uppercut that time by Julio Cesar Green. Referee, as long as they have one hand free, seem to let them go.
Well, they call this guy the body snatcher. The last guy that they named that was Michael Cullen. Did a pretty good job going to the body. But I think Oba needs to stay down there if he wants to take some sting out of these green punches.
He doesn't want to fight in this area. Right hand inside by Oba. Oba caught him pretty good, but didn't do any damage. He didn't shift his legs at all.
That might have been the best place he landed on those, though. Seeing Oba Turner, he's really got him into a street brawl. He's pushing him around, he's making him use his legs, he's working his body.
Well, they call that ring generalship, Carl, and he's the general in there right now. He's doing the pushing around. It still looks, every once in a while, like Green lands a pretty good shot, but Oba's landing a lot of punches while he's inside.
And he's using, look at him, he's using everything. He's using the head, the hair, the braids, and you can't blame the guy. You got to go in there and do anything you can to win. Do it fairly.
Green picking up shots inside. Now he's landed a couple of dribblers, and he landed a looping right hand in that exchange. Here he gets another right hand. Oh, big slip there. Well, this is dangerous. He's soaking wet in his corner, and it's kind of the situation that we see so often when they have ice in the corners. They pour the ice down on the trunks of the fighter, and they think they're helping the fighter out. The guys are foolish to do that because it leaves the corner really dangerous.
Well, all due respect, we did try to get some of that no-stick thing to put in the paint job, but who knows how they make these mats these days.
Well, no matter what you put in the paint, if you get that ice in there. And by the way, we're right above an ice rink here. My feet are cold. Closing seconds down. This is the 6th round. Have to do some mighty close. Makes me on the air.
I think so. Bring Marty up here.
The fella in the 6th round. I thought that was another pretty good over round myself.
Only 3 guys. A ver, ¿cómo te? No le ponga agua en el ojo. Vete a este lado.
El man te está amarrando. ¿Y tú qué hay para
Saca la mano, Green, saca la mano.
Usa tu mano.
Usa tu ya. De afuera, ese ya. No te lo dejes venir encima.
No deje que te agarre. Y entonces, tenga un paso atrás, Julio. ¿Oíste?
Okay, let's take a look at this replay here. We got Green jabbing. And here we go with bang, the big right hand. I think that was the best punch that's going over Sean Armstrong. Right hand, solid on the tip. Now we got this. This is what we were talking about earlier with the paint and the logo right across the bow tie in the corner. Down he went. Fortunately for Green, he didn't get hit with a punch that they considered a knockdown.
All right, here we go. This is round 7. Bob Sheridan with Charles King. We're in Madison Square Garden in New York City. This is the WBA Intra-Middleweight Championship. Julio Cesar Green had it all his way in the first 3 or 4 rounds of the fight, and Darren Oba in the black trunks with the silver on them has turned things around a little bit. Let's see if it can continue this way in the 7th round. Green, you still have the idea of the slicker boxer, but Oba, as we mentioned, has a tremendous amateur career behind him. Represented his country of Australia in a couple of Olympiads, and he wants to make this a street brawl, and he's dictating the flow of the fight. And that if he fights it out here, it's Green's territory. You see Green load up the right hand. If he fights it inside, it's Oba's territory.
Got to be wondering what must be going through William Joppy's mind. Oh, good right hand. Here we go.
Look at the legs. He caught him with a good right hand, and what he needs to get in the body to get those hands down. Look at the legs of Oba. He's kind of floundering around the place. This kid is a great fit in the mix. He's tough. He is really tough.
Green was trying to pull him towards him and make him get the cans. That didn't work. So he has some stretch left in his hand.
He wobbles him all right, Carl. It's more or less the way he stands, you know? He rolls over on his ankles on those shoes. You said they were well broken in, but notice the way he rolls over in the padding. And he's off balance too. His legs are so far apart, so spread apart. It hurts him in 2 ways. He doesn't have really good balance when he gets hit. He's way off balance, and he flounders around a little bit. And when he tries to throw power punches, he doesn't have the leverage to throw them. But on the inside, he's some kind of tough.
That he is, and I tell you, Green has got to be wondering what else he has to do to get this guy on the deck. He did it early in the 1st round and hasn't seemed to been able to do it since. Yeah, he's getting hit there too, his right hand. I tell you.
Oba is just some kind of tough guy. He grabs on. That's what he wants to do. He wants to cut right here, so he has his right hand free. He knows as long as he has his right hand free, that the power right hand of Julio Cesar Green is tied up. Here he is. This is in his territory. Green nails him with a couple of light left hands. They don't do any damage. See, that's the shot he's trying to get. Swooping right hand, gets through, bounced the head of Oba. Didn't shake the legs, though. I'm telling you, Jim, he hit with a pretty good right hand. He took it down to his knees. From the 3 and 4 and 5, he's okay. Takes the standing 8 count. He was almost down in the 1st round. He went really into the ropes, so this time he went down pretty good. And he still has a real good balance. Nice body shot, body working the shape. Up to the left hook, over the head. Took another shot at that right hand. Bangs him by the ear. Uppercut, bangs him by the ear. Closing seconds now. This is the 7th round of a real good heavy round for Julio Cesar Green.
Look at that, Darren Oba. He survived another round. And it's tough guy. He still hasn't taken set down on his field in between rounds.
Hey, la distancia para que la meta la mano. ¿Qué tú haces encima del hombre? Cuando el hombre viene, empújalo para afuera, ¿o qué?
Okay, let's take a look at this replay here. This is the right hand of Tanaka. Look at it there. It's the one look you can see. It looks like he nailed it behind the ear. That seems to be the vulnerable spot for Darren Oba. Around the temple area. Here's another angle. As you can see, Green just turns a short right bang right there on the ear and the temple area, and down he goes. And I believe that's perfect. Now here's Green trying to finish him off at the end of the round. He's landing some shots. He's good left hook. He worked the body pretty good. He's some right hand down to the body.
Take it down.
But this guy seems to be very vulnerable around the temple area. And that's what Julio Cesar Green should target his punches.
You bang him on the ear and he's hurt. Here we go, round number 8. Bomb short him with Charles King. This job, by the way, Rich Dunn getting those key shots in there in our replay videotape. This job all around. Cameraman videotape. Somebody wanted to plug Jody Heaps like we forget about Jody as statistician. So there's a plug for the Jody man.
Oh, yeah, he's the best.
I call him Jody Boomaya. They don't even need us. All right, this is round 8. We're at Madison Square Garden. That was a turnaround round for Julio Cesar Green. If Oba took 5 and 6, then Julio Cesar Green certainly came back to take 7 convincingly by knocking Oba down.
But you know, I was going to say earlier, Colonel, we've got to be wondering what's going through the mind of William Joppy. He's been in the ring twice with Green. Green's defeated him once. We're going to see the fight that should have happened earlier this month before the car accident here. You said with Darren Oba and how he's pairing up here. I think that Joppy, this could be, it's not an easy fight for William Joppy, either one of these guys.
Neither one of these guys, and it appears the way it's going right now that Green is going to be back to fight him again. But, you know, even decision in New York. And my way of thinking, and I call that that night, that particular fight, I don't see how the judges gave it to Julio Cesar Green. If ever there was a hometown decision, it was that jockey was robbed of it.
And that was before I joined the broadcast team, and I seen it from the stands, and it was the same view from there as I imagine it was from here.
We're in round 8. Over trying to do something, he backhands over that man. This is a legal punch, by the way. See, the problem is he doesn't drive off his back foot, step up into his jab. The guy with all the experience he's had in the amateur, of course, when you fight 2 minute rounds as an amateur, and you fight just 3 rounds, you can get away with all of this rough on stuff that he's done.
But a guy that's, you got to equate this to the training, the type of training and trainers that are elsewhere other than the United States. You have some great trainers in South America, some great trainers in Latin America, that part of the world. But you got to wonder about the down under in Queensland, whether or not he's got the proper trainers and so forth and so on.
They get good trainers and they get good training. The problem is, it's just the population. The country is huge the size of the United States. It doesn't have the people, which means you don't have that many fighters. You don't have the slums like we have in the States, where you get like real tough street kids coming up. You just don't have the competition down there that you have in the States. It's more readily available in the gyms of Philadelphia, Miami, San Francisco, Phoenix, all of these great cities like Las Vegas, and of course here in New York.
That's exactly right. This guy's tough as nails, I tell you. He's trying his best. Looks like he's doing his best he can, but he's just not getting any leverage or any distance with
This is just another survival round. But he just is, as Charles pointed out, the tough kid in the belly, round number 8. Another round for Julio Cesar.
Another round that Darren is standing up in the corner. That behooves me. I can't believe. Why would a guy want to do that?
por encima de la derecha. Juega duro. Ahora, juega diferente. Hey, ya tú sabes. Cuando te amarra, empuja a este hombre. No tomes esa boca. Oíste. Cuando te amarra contigo, empújalo para afuera, que el amigo no le eche nada. Ahí saca tu allá. Try that floor. ¿Ok? Tú primero. Combinaciones afuera, ya se abrió. Cuando te cae el otro boludo, empuja a ese hombre para afuera. No te quedes con él ahí. All right. Tú le das 2 veces con el y después ya retirante. Tú le das que te venga ahí. You just have to try that floor. Okay, we got you. Let's go.
The referee in the New York State inspector this time has told the corner, hey, mop that floor up. Here we go, round number 9, scheduled for 12. This is for the WBA Interim Middleweight Championship. As you may or may not know, William Joppy, the reigning WBA champ, got injured in training for a fight a couple of weeks ago in Washington. And he's all right. He was in an automobile. Had a bit of a neck and spine injury, but he came out of it fine, and he's going to be fine, and he's going to get back to training soon. And the winner of this fight is going to fight him for the world title, and the winner of this fight is going to be called.
Ladies and gentlemen, this one comes to an end at the 41-second mark of round number 9. your winner and WBA interim middleweight champion of the world, Julio Cesar.
Good work, man. Cuando la vi que la cogiste, júgalo para afuera. Sí, pero estaba dejando. Júgalo. Estamos con Dios y en el suficiente que será la diferencia. Good work, Tony. Yeah, good work. You worked very hard. You worked very